Hello everyone, this is the unknown astrologer. So today I will be elaborating the results of Sun in the 10th house of your D1 chart. Now, this is a position which is very common. One has to understand this is the most important thing, which is very common, and with the passing day it is becoming more and more common because of the C-section births. What is happening is that a lot of people are giving birth to people via a surgery, and most of the hospitals in many cities I've seen this prefer the surgery, the operation to happen around noon time. That is around between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., which presents a high likelihood of having Sun in the 10th house. Okay, now Sun becomes Digbali here. It gains directional strength, becomes very strong. Irrespective of the Rashi, it becomes very strong. And this position has been talked about by a lot of writers of astrology, and most importantly in the last 200 to 300 years, this has been a very, very talked about position. And everybody says that if you have Sun in the 10th house, you will become a king. Now just try to understand that dichotomy here. On one hand, we know that this is a very common placement. And on the other hand, we are saying that you will become a king. Is that a possibility? Can we have so many kings going around? No. Right? So inherently, this position, number one, Sun in the 10th, it gains strength. It definitely suits people who are in independent business, or who have elite decision-making roles in either corporate or in or in the government. Now the question which begs to be asked is that whether this position guarantees that you will get a high position in corporate or the government, or if you are at a high position, then this combination will help you do well in that position. So my answer is very simple. This position does not guarantee that you will get to a high position. Sun in the 10th alone does not guarantee that you will become a decision maker at the corporate level or at the government level. Government of any kind, prant, district, state, country, it doesn't guarantee that. And no, even if the Sun is very powerful, if by Rashi also, even if it is exalted, even then it does not guarantee that you will get a high position. What it guarantees is that you will have problems if you are made to work under somebody else. So the only guarantee which Sun in the 10th presents is that this position is not a great position to do jobs. This is the only 100% guarantee. Alright? If the 10th Lord is also strong, if the 10th from Moon is also strong, if there are other high profile generating indicators in the chart, then Sun in the 10th can really propel you to a high position. But for that to happen, we have to see the entire chart. Okay? If the 10th Lord, let's say, is combust, if it is weak, if it is debilitated, if the 10th from Moon is not that great, then Sun in the 10th can just make you switch jobs. And I have seen this in plenty of charts. People just change job after job after job. They have some kind of an ego issue with their bosses, or they just develop a dislike for their company because maybe their ego was hurt unknowingly, unconsciously by somebody else, either in a position of power or even working under them. Anything can trigger a ego hurt for Sun in the 10th, and they will just like to switch jobs and quit jobs. Why this happens? I've already hinted about this in the earlier videos of Surya, also in the introduction to Sun, is that Sun is the natural leader, it's the aristocratic leader. Sun does not like rules and foundations and boundaries and bureaucracy and diplomacy. It does not like that. Sun says what I say, what I think, what I want to do is the right thing. But if you tell the Sun, no, sir, there is a protocol which you have to follow, Sun will not enjoy that protocol. Why is there a protocol in the 10th house? Because this is the natural sign of Saturn, that too the sign of Makar, Capricorn, which is the natural protocol. You have to follow a protocol to become a socially successful person, or a successful person at the society level, because the society respects rules and protocols, and we live in a diplomacy. So we live in an age where diplomacy is everything. So, protocols is the way of the life. And Sun in the 10th does not enjoy that, does not enjoy restrictions to power of any kind. Now, what should be the case in order to make this Sun, for a normal person, a planet which supports job? So the best way is to get a Saturn Drishti on it. If there is a Saturn conjunction or a Saturn Drishti, then Sun gets weakened to some extent, but the 10th house gets support from Saturn's Drishti. Saturn's Drishti is automatically supportive of protocols, automatically supportive of democracy. So it reduces the ego, it reduces the arrogance, and that person can work in one job for relatively a longer period of time. The other planet which can support it is Ketu. If Ketu weakens the Sun, kind of diffuses the ego of the Sun. But Ketu does not have a drishti, by the way, and a lot of people, do it wrongly. Ketu has no drishti. Ketu can only accept the drishti of others. Ketu cannot cast a drishti. So Ketu should be placed in the 10th then. But if Ketu and Sun are together, it will also weaken the natural characteristics of the Sun with respect to the father, with respect to the heart, and the sign ruled by the Sun. So we have to look at it in totality. We can't be just blindfolded by one thing. Okay. Now, in what cases this Sun in the 10th gives exceptionally good result is that if the person is in a family business, or if the person wants to be an entrepreneur, it's a very good placement. Because if you are the founder of a company, you take all the decisions, you set the rules. Sun will be good then. If you are a celebrity, if you are an actor or an artist or a musician, it's a great position. If you are born to a celebrity father, or if you are born to a political family, in elite settings or in celebrity settings, this is a very good position. In common man settings, and if let's say you have it and if your son has it or your daughter has it, and you see that this person will grow up into and get a good job, then that person will have a problem with jobs. Another thing is that why is it that in the last 5-6 years a lot of people are getting Sun in the 10th? Is because as we move into the Aquarius age, which is where our entire planet is moving into, we will see a lot of independent professionals. All of these kids who are getting born every day these days with Sun in the 10th, they will have some independent work. They will create some content either, or do some other independent work apart from their jobs. And many of them will quit their jobs ultimately and just focus on their independent consulting roles. This is what Sun in the 10th is showing. But if you are 35 years old or 30 years old or even 45 years old, you are wondering why my job doesn't last long, or why am I not happy with my career, even though I have Sun in the 10th house, and everybody says Sun in the 10th will make you a king. No sir, it will not make you a king. It will give you problems at job. So, and then if you are wearing a stone of Sun, somebody has suggested you to wear a ruby, please don't wear that ruby if you want to do good at job. You should not, because it will increase the power of the Sun, and it will definitely you will have more ego and more problems at work. There are so many other combinations in which Sun in the 10th can give a better result with respect to jobs, if it is sitting with Venus, or if there is some other aspect. Mars aspect is the only problematic aspect which can increase the ego. Saturn's aspect is good. Conjunction with Ketu is good, but only for the job. Conjunction with Ketu of Sun is not that great for other things, but only for the job. In the 10th house, it is a decent conjunction to have, just for the continuity of your job. Then Mercury will mostly be around Sun, so Mercury can be there in the 10th house with the Sun, but it will not really help you in your jobs any which ways. Mercury's conjunction will not help in reducing the Sun's ego. In fact, Mercury will articulate the ego and make that person vocal about the ego. That person can talk that I did not like this, because Mercury is with Sun. It will make you speak, and that can also create more issues. So we have to see it in the right perspective. But if Sun is there in the 10th, and if other positions support, other positions being 10th Lord, ideally, if Sun is in the 10th Lord should be stronger than the Sun to support a decent job. If 10th Lord is weaker than the Sun, then job will be a problematic thing. Problematics are things which we know that these are problem areas, but we can't solve them. Okay? Like poverty, like large scale illness. We all know that, but we can't solve that. So Sun in the 10th is a problematic. It gives you a problem with respect to the job, but you can't solve it because you have no way to solve it. That is the way this person is built. The best position of Sun in the 10th is for creative artists, for entrepreneurs, for people in the family business, for people in their own business, in which they don't have to bow down to somebody above them. Okay? If you are in a job and your job is doing well, then you must be having some kind of a strength reducing aspect on the Sun, if that is there in the 10th. Otherwise, it's a sure shot prediction that Sun in the 10th with a lot of strength, the person will have issues with the job. And it's a very common placement. Not everybody will become a king, so you have to understand that. But you can become a king of your own business. If you start your own company, you are a king there. You can take your own decisions. So that is where Sun will be helpful. And the individual businesses of the people can be very good, can be very successful if that person gets a good dasha. So success and failure in your individual business is primarily the result of your dasha. Okay, so this is how you have to see Sun in the 10th. And the Saturn's aspect, the most important point which I'm trying to make is that a Saturn's aspect on Sun in the 10th house is a favorable aspect. It is not a problematic aspect. It's a problem solving aspect. Alright guys, in order to reach out to me for a one-on-one discussion, my phone number is 790-540-1688. Please WhatsApp it to me first, and then we can schedule a call. Thank you. All the best.